Okay, today I'm going to talk about indices. So I'm not really going to talk about the basic properties so much. Like, I'll just give you some, right? AM times AN is AM plus N. So these are things that you should have learned in school, right? Yeah, basic properties, okay? I think these are the main ones. I hope I did not miss any out. Yeah, I guess if you want to include this, you can include it if it counts. Okay, so basic indices properties, you should have learned this in school. I'm not really going to talk about them because there's really nothing much to talk about them, right? You just need to memorize it for now. So what I'm going to talk about today is actually how to solve questions related to indices. So the very common kind of questions will come in the form like simplify these algebraic expressions. So you're given a particular algebraic expression, let's just say any one, right? It doesn't matter. Like this maybe. Okay, so just a simple algebraic expression. You have to simplify it. So I'm going to explain what are the techniques you can use to solve this kind of question, okay? So this, I'm just gonna erase it. You should know this, right? By now, you should know these things, okay? The first thing you should do, okay? Okay, so there are three things you need to settle. Maybe I should not list in order. You have to open up brackets. I usually suggest you do this first. The second thing is to change times, oh wrong, divide to times. I'll explain these things, don't worry. Okay, change negative indices to positive. Okay, the very last one is just 4 things you have to do, okay? Slowly, one at a time. I shouldn't have erased that, never mind. Okay, I'll just give another one. Let's just say 3a minus 6b squared c 4, this whole thing I square. I'm just gonna give, yeah, I'll give another one. I'll give maybe 18 a cube b c minus 2 squared, like this maybe, okay? A random expression. Now first thing I suggest you do is to open up the brackets first, okay? There's a slight exception to this, I'll explain it later. First thing you do, open up brackets first. So straightforward, right? So this one you have to multiply into each term, okay? So that means it's 3 squared, 9, then this has to be squared also, okay? A minus 12, right? B becomes 4, C becomes the power of 8, right? So just multiply the power in, okay? 18 a cubed. So don't be worried about this thing lah. Don't be scared, okay? It's just normal, nothing fancy. You just have to bring the power in. B squared, C minus 4, right? Okay, I'm done. No brackets involved here, right? Now change divide to times. Here I have no division sign, so I'm done with that. Now, but I have negative indices, which I have to change into positive indices. What do I do? So one way I look at it is this fraction line, right? I see it like a river. So when you cross the river, you change your sign. Basically, that's just it. So if I start as negative and I bring it over, I become positive. Okay? If I start as positive and I cross this river, I become negative. But of course, no one wants that, right? Because usually the answer will ask, oh, express your answer in positive indices. Alright, so you don't really want to have negative indices. So every time you cross the bridge, you change your sign. So I'm going to bring A down, okay, later. So this will end up like this. I'm going to bring C up. So what you can do is I'm doing step by step, okay? If you're good at this, you can do this very quickly. You don't have to even do this thing. You can just skip the step, okay? So can you see, I brought my a minus 12 down, and it becomes positive. I bring c minus 4 up, it becomes positive. So I cross the bridge, I change my sign. That's all that you need to know, okay? Then I would like to combine, right? Because I have these things and I have this, right? So again, so b4 remains, c is the power of 12, 8 plus 4, okay? a, 3 plus 12. Oh, 3 plus 12 is 15, b squared remains. So my 9 looks like an a. Okay, now this is fine. So now I can simplify. So to simplify, you can cancel out basically. So what cancelling out means, I divide top and bottom by a common factor, okay? Basically, I divide by 9. So this is 1 and this is 2, correct? B, I have b on top, b below. So I take out 2 b's on top and I take out 2 b's on the bottom. This becomes b squared, okay? C, I don't have anything on the bottom to cancel out. A, I don't have anything on top to cancel out. So it's just simply b squared c 12 over 2a 15. Okay, so this is an example. Now, I'll give you maybe about 2 more questions so that you can kind of understand what I'm trying to say, okay? So I'll give you a slightly longer one, not too difficult. Oh, that's a big number, maybe not. Okay. Okay, I'll leave it as it is. Actually, never mind. Okay, so now I have 2 things here. It's actually not that difficult once you get the hang of it. So now, here's a very important thing. I said usually you open my brackets first, right? So here's the exception. When the power of your bracket is negative, I would want to resolve this negative first. Why? Because sometimes if I multiply in, here I have only 2 terms, right? Sometimes you may have 4, right? Like 2a squared, b squared, c squared. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 terms, right? And then each term will become negative. So can you imagine? Can you imagine? Not nice, right? It's not nice, right? So no one likes to see this, okay? It just makes your life more difficult. You just resolve this negative thing first for the bracket, okay? So what happens is this whole bracket, bring it down. So c goes up, so c squared, right? Okay, so this is the original denominator, right, for b squared. This one comes from this thing, bring down, okay? Now I'm gonna just change divide to times. So here is where I illustrate this point, right? Times. So to change this, you should have learned this by now. You change divide to times and you flip the fraction on the right. Don't change this, huh? Please don't change this. Change this, okay? Now I can kind of just open up the brackets, you know, and combine them. I'm gonna skip some steps, okay? So don't, you see here got negative and negative, right? Never mind, worry about that later. So c squared I'll leave it on top. So 4 I put in front. Usually numbers put in front, okay? Now here b 3 3. So b9 plus b squared. You can see I'm actually do the a first, sorry. A minus 6. Alright, b9 plus b2. is B11. 9 plus 2, 11, right? 4 square is 16. B square, C, 4. 2 to the power of 3 is 1, 8. A to the power of 9. B minus 6. Now I just need to resolve my negative indices, right? Change them to, so A, 6 goes up. 4, B, 11. Okay? Same thing. No, minus 6 go up, right? Plus 6. B, 8. C, 4. 8, A, 9. Now I can just cancel out. Nice. This is the easy part, cancelling out. 2 and 4. Here I have 2. Okay? Some of you might put the 1 here. Okay? But I don't think it's necessary. I'm just going to leave it like that. Okay? A, 6, A, 9. So I have A3 at the bottom left. Okay? B8, B11. I have B3 at the bottom left. 2, 4. They're both on top. Okay? So please don't attempt to cancel them. You can only cancel when one is on top and one is on the bottom. Okay? And only when the operations here are all multiplication. Okay? I explain this a little bit more, but let's just finish this question first. This C to the power of 6 on top. It's 2 A cubed B cubed. So this is my final answer. Okay? Now I give you one last question. It will be the longest one. But I will get my point across, okay? So I just want to make sure you understand what I'm doing here. Just any random okay. Okay, another number maybe. Okay, like this. Just because it's long, it's not necessarily more difficult. This is actually still kind of manageable. I think just take it easy, one at a time. Okay, don't look at this and go crazy. Okay, so of course the first thing I notice is this thing, right? I don't like it, so I'm going to bring it down. So just remember, when you bring like the whole thing down, the on top is 1, okay? Just remember that, keep that in mind. Correct? Okay, so of course you have the equal sign. The rest, I can just leave it first. Okay, if you're very good, of course, like I said, you can skip steps, huh? But I'm just gonna pretend that you're not very good. I'm gonna assume that, okay? Now, I'm going to kind of shortcut a little bit here, okay? So A is to the power of 4, right? Here I get B to the power of 8. Here I get B to the power of 6. 8 plus 6 is 14, okay? C 63 is C 18, right? So I hope you're good in mental calculation. 4 to the power of 3. Okay, what is that? So it's 64. A 3, C 6. Simple, right? Simple. Not difficult. B minus 4, C 10. So now I just need to kind of deal with this, but you see, I can just kind of, you see, sometimes you can shortcut, right? Like you see, this and this I can just cancel already, what? Right, right. You can even do this. Okay, maybe not. Let's just save that for later. So it's quite flexible. You can shortcut a lot here. B is 7, right? So here there's really not much I can cancel, but I can do this. Right? So now I have to combine. So make sure when you cancel, one top, one bottom, okay? I really don't like it when I see people cancel 2 on the bottom or 2 on the top. Don't force it to happen. If it's not going to happen, it's not going to happen. So, of course, numbers put in front. Then usually you order them A, B, C, okay? Try to order put it nicely, huh? Don't try and put 64, C, A, B or something. You could, but it's not very nice, okay? So B7, now C, just add the powers are up. They're all on the bottom, right? 18 plus 6 plus 10. What is that? 24. Oh, sorry, 34. Yep. Okay. So it's quite a large number. So that's just it. Okay, I'll just stop here for now. I don't want this video to go on forever. But I think I'll make another video where I'll give you maybe 5 to 10 questions. You try and do them on your own first, and then I will discuss the work solutions after that. Okay? So that's all for now.